All right. Do 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 do. All right, perfect. Anyways, what the fresh heck is going on here, ladies and gents? My name is Divik, and welcome back into Ark Lost Island. Now, we're doing something a little different today. I'm not doing it necessarily a Lost Island episode. That's because I got a lot of stuff still going. I just got my my UT pair finally all transferred up. I've started on the 3 Spinos, and it's a process. It's a process. So I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna do like talk about like talk about some other aspects of this game. And we're gonna start with my favorite creatures. Now, I put a lot of thought into this, and you can see actually most of them right behind me. But let's face this way. This is in no particular order. Now, I have chosen to pick one creature from each of the DLC maps, both paid and free. And I also picked 3 or 4 normal creatures with the exception of ocean creatures because I don't really have that many, and I think I only have megalodons. And I don't know, I would need to look at what I have. I think I actually have more creatures, but I don't think I have really some of my absolute favorites, with the exception of one. So I decided to omit ocean creatures from this list altogether, but if I were, well, from showing in this list, but if I were to say, I would say the Moza, the Tuso, and, oh gosh, what is the other one? And the Basilosaurus. I would pick those 3 as my favorite ocean creatures. The Megalodon is fine, but it's no. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started with this list. Now, representing Scorched Earth is the Thorny Dragon. Now, it was really hard to pin down between this guy, this lovely thing, and what's up, Lone Wolf, and the Wyvern, because, well, it's easy to say the Wyvern because it's a dang wyvern, right? But I also thought of the utility of this creature. It gets wood very, very decently. It has that thorny, the spike attack that does torpor. It's fast. It has very good weight capacity, and it's just an overall fun creature to use. And plus, I really like the sounds. Like, hang on one second. Like, bruv, even the sounds of this creature are really cool, and honestly, kind of adorable, if you ask me. And also the babies are so chunky and adorable, and you can't say. Look at that eyeball. Look at that eyeball. That's a really cool. This design is really, really good. I just really like this creature overall, and the Thorny Dragon is one of the creatures I am hoping actually comes back into Ark 2. I know it's a little bit more fantastical, but I mean, there is the armadillo lizard. So if we could get something like that, a giant armadillo lizard for Ark 2, that would actually be really, really cool. So up next, and obviously you can see it right here, representing aberration, is the rock drake. Now, yes, you would think normally, oh, this is the same energy as the wyvern. However, this thing has a saddle, and also objectively, it looks better than the wyvern. Let's be honest here. I mean, heck, all other wyverns look better than the original 3. This thing can turn invisible. It can climb decently. While it does have a slow bite rate, its utility and getting around aberration and its ability to climb kind of, well, I don't want to say trumps it, but it balances out. And yes, it doesn't have any range like elemental abilities or anything like that, but the rock drake doesn't need anything like that. It's well enough on its own. It's a good travel mount. It can seat 2 people, and also it's the only hard counter really to the Reapers, which adds to the utility. And same as the Thorny Dragon, it's just there's so many uses for this thing. You can use it in PvP, you can use it in PvE, which is why I have them in the first place, and overall, these things are just really cool, and also they are breedable. along with the wyverns. So you can have some crazy looking colors, and you don't have to just hatch them now, which is great. Now, we're gonna like kind of skip around a little bit, and move on to Gen 1 with the Bloodstalker. Now, Gen 1, we can all agree, is not a great map. It's not. Being forced to do missions and whatnot in order to actually progress in story and all that kind of stuff is super, well, dumb. But the creatures, some of the creatures that came in, like the Magmasaur and the Megachelon, those two are kind of annoying if you ask me, and this map also gave us the X variant. And this, the Bloodstalker, much like the, the Rock Drake, its utility and travel capabilities make it so useful. I mean, and plus, I'm Doc Ock, mother truckers. I mean, look, just get hey, look, listen, literally get an all silver or an all gray one of these, right? With some bits of red, and boom, you got Doc Ock, but with 2 more legs. But also this right here, and also one thing that's kind of slept on with these things is, and it's easy to actually forget, but this thing emotes. Like, this thing emotes. Like, watch this. Watch this. Yeah, hold on. Is that it? It kind of does a little wave, right? Like, bruh, this is one of the only creatures in the game that emotes. I don't think it actually has one for that. Wait, is there a taunt? Oh, I've never actually seen that before. That's kind of cool. Okay. Okay, doesn't have a cheer. Yeah, no, this is yeah, it is, again, it's the only creature in the game that can emote. If at all. Wait, does it salute? It does not salute, okay. But it does say thank you. Come on, what's not? And also, this is the only creature in the game that allows you to Spider-Man. And I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Whoop! It's got a super jump. This thing can also Spider-Man, which, come on. Don't tell me you haven't wanted to be Spider-Man at least once in your life. What am I attached to here? But yeah, no, this thing is cool. Also, it doesn't have very good oxygen, because, I mean, it's a spider. Usually spiders don't need to be in the water. But, I mean, this thing's, again, travel and utility is exactly what I'm looking into. And also, while it's not big on attack power, it's everything else makes it great. This thing is definitely a creature you would want to get if you are trying to get in, if you want to get Magmasaurs fairly quickly and easily. Because on Gen 1, you have to get Magmasaurs via going into the volcano, and oh my gosh, this swim speed is very bad. Sorry. I haven't flown around with a Bloodstalker in a long time, so honestly, it's kind of meh. But hey, once you get into it, once you've been doing it for a hot minute, and gosh, where are my platforms? It's a fun way to travel around. It's quick, it's easy, it's very fun, and it's just overall a good time when you actually know what the heck you're doing. And also, you can grapple people. You can grapple creatures and whatnot, which if we can get to the land, I can show you. We'll grapple that Parasaur. I think you can grapple it. I forget actually how to do this thing. I haven't played with a Bloodstalker in a long time. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm not doing anything. I mean, look at this. I mean, come on. That's terrifying. And that's also how you tame it, by the way. But yeah, no. This thing is really cool. I definitely love using this creature over any others, really. Whoop! Okay. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get back up there. Can you just climb up here? Yeah, again. Okay, perfect. Man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, that is the creature representing Gen 1. The Bloodstalker. Now, obviously, I mean, oh. Well, shoot. I'm glad I have a blink rifle. I'm very glad I have a blink rifle. Now, representing Gen 2, joined creatures, is the Shadowmane. I mean, come on. You should have known I was going to pick the Shadowmane, even if it wasn't already standing right here. I mean, look at this thing. And bear in mind, this is the male variant. If you're brand new to Ark and you don't know what the heck this thing is, this is the Shadowmane. It came into the game with the release of Gen 2. It was literally a poster child because it was shown like more than once. We thought this thing was like a giant panther, which, I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, the thing is called a lionfish lion in the code. But Shadowmane, what can it do? Well, aside from being massive and much bigger than most of the cats in the game, what's up, Saber? This thing is very, very cool. It has a Thorns ability like the Kentro. It has the Aqua Boost like the Spino. It has multiple, and I mean multiple attacks. It has a charge attack where it dashes around like the Flash. It has a super jump. And also, when you super jump, it does this little flippy-doo. So it'll turn around and land like a cat. And also, you can do that. Well, actually, we need a female around. But when mate boosted, this creature can do a roar that boosts creatures like the UT. And also, when you hit stuff enough time, it has this little Super Saiyan mode where it moves faster and also hits harder than it would normally. Now, mind you, this is a custom, meaning I purposely put the purple on there, because this is T'Challa, the Black Panther, literally. And this is representing the Mr. Chadwick Boseman. You know, God rest his soul. But I mean, look at this thing. It's cool, and also, it turns invisible. And honestly, I'd say that its invisibility is better than the Rock Drake, because if I turn my screen off, you can kind of see it. You can see the little shimmer here. But actually, no, actually, it's about the same. These two. But yeah, no. I mean, literally though, you don't want a pack of these things just showing up at your base. Like, just nah. That's just scary. And also, this thing overall is just a fun time to use. If were it not for the Bloodstalker or the Griffin, I would definitely use this thing as a travel mount, just because of how fast it can move, and plus the water boost and all that stuff makes it very, 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 very useful, and just super fun to use, even in PvE. Now, PvP has kind of ruined this creature, with how many times it's been nerfed and changed, but much like the next creature on the list, you can see it right there, you can understand the frustration. But up next, representing Extinction, is the Velonosaur. This thing, I love this thing. I really do. The model is really cool. Again, utility is really great. This thing is good in PvE, it's good in PvP, and it just looks cool. I mean, come on. Look at this thing. It's like it's about the size of the Shadowmane, actually, as far as size is concerned. But yeah, no, this thing is cool. It doesn't actually attack with its mouth. It actually slaps you across the face with its claws. And it also has a spin cycle of death move, which pretty much has an area of effect, and it kind of hits creatures all around it, as well as having a turret mode where you can just stand there and just blast away. And this thing can also has a turret mode that you can put it in, which allows you to, well, defend your base, really. And that is, like, in and of itself, makes it very, very fun. And also there is an R variant of this creature, which looks even better than this. This is the normal one. But also, this right here, it reminds me of the Dilophosaurus, and it is absolutely from Jurassic Park anyway, and it is absolutely terrifying. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to turn around and see this looking at me. Like, just No thanks. Just no thank you. I'm okay. You can miss me with that one. But yeah, I don't really have much to say on this thing. Well, actually, it jumps, which is also great. But yeah, the Velonosaur. Absolutely my favorite creature from Extinction. Now, swapping now to the free DLCs, we did all the paid DLCs first, is the Tropical Crystal Wyvern. Now, there is 3 Wyvern types to come into the game when Crystal Isles was introduced. You have your Tropical Crystal Wyvern, which is this absolute beauty right here, the Blood Wyvern, and the Ember Wyvern. Now, I picked the Tropical just because, honestly, I like the colors, I like the blue. Now, this thing was originally white, but it was hard to actually see it in the background, especially for the thumbnail, so I added some blue. I will add the white back later. But aside from being a much smaller fire wyvern, this thing is faster. It has a water boost like the Spino and the aforementioned Shadowmane, and also is just really cool. Also, it has a water blast attack that slows down creatures. Fun in PvE, excellent in PvP as far as from what I was able to see, and also just again you were already able to breed these things before you were able to breed the regular wyverns. So that in and of itself kind of elevates this creature above even the regular wyverns. And also the colors even at wild are more spread out. And you can get like some beautiful whites, blues, purples. That purple what was already on the creature, I didn't add that. Like just the colors on the Tropical Crystal Wyvern are just top notch and really, really nice. Just like overall. And up next, representing Valguero, it was really is the only creature that come forth for this map, the Deinonychus. Now this thing, I mean, what's not to love about the Deinonychus? It's small, it's fast, it's a much better raptor. It looks better than the raptor, even after its TLC. And also, the pack boost and its ability to pounce on creatures and cause them to bleed trumps the raptor exponentially. Like, exponentially. This thing is a much better raptor, and this is what you should be getting instead of the Velociraptor. Now, mind you, it's not a simple tame go and knock one out. You have to get the egg, much like the Rock Drake, the Magmasaur, and the Wyverns. Well, the regular Wyverns, not the Tropical. The Tropical, you can just walk up to it and give it a crystal. But yeah, no, it is tamed that way, so it is hard to kind of get good stats on them. But if you're lucky, you can actually get some really good stats overall on the hatch. Now, it's hard to really say because you would need to get a bunch of really good eggs and then kind of go from there. But once you get that mutation stack, you get that melee. Ooh, doggy. Now, I think this is actually one of the ones I didn't actually put melee in. But looking at the stats I did put in, I put 2 into health and 3 into melee, and that's all I really needed for this thing to be excellent. And plus, it's got a good saddle. And all you need is a good saddle. Well, at least as far as my servers are concerned, you only really need an Ascendant saddle, which I have. That's the max armor you can get, along with just some good stats overall. Now, I barely put anything into it. That's just the stat boostings on this server. 2 into health, 3 into melee, and that's all you really need for boss running creatures. And that is why. And also. Oh, I don't think I can do it without other Deinonychus around. But also, that roar is really cool. Okay, representing Ragnarok is, of course, the Griffin. I had to really, really think about it. I really did. Because, honestly, this thing is really cool. And I'm trying to get this. This thing is cool. It's a 2-seater. It has multiple attacks. Now, mind you, it can't pick up anything to save its life. But, again, the utility is there. The dive strike attack, which does like super damage, and also one of my favorite things to do with the Griffin is this here. Is whenever I'm traveling long distances, I like to do this. Just run along the ground, jump, and then it continues the fly. What the heck? Hmm? Who the deuce is this? Hold up, hold up, hold up. Uidifu. Who is this? In domination. Oh, okay. I remember you guys now. Your base is very nice. I almost forgot about you guys. Oh, and speaking of, nice place you got here, by the way. That was actually that's irony at its best, right there. You love to see it. But anyways, this is my favorite creature from. I mean, it was a toss up between this guy and the Ice Wyvern. But let's be honest, we all like the Ice Wyvern as far as the visual is concerned. And overall, come on, the Griffin. Now, mind you, you can't breed these things yet, but it would be so dope if you could. And also, Darklight, just yes. Also, look at that animation for eating. Goodness, it's so good. And also, that is all the DLC. Actually, no, it's not. I'm forgetting about one more map. The very map that we're standing on right now. Now, I thought about it for a good long while. I really did. I was like, okay, well, you know, they came in with 3 creatures, you know, Magosaurus, Dinopithecus, Cinemacrops, right? And I remember being excited for the other 2. But there was one I was really, really, really not a fan of. And if you've been on this channel for any length of time, you know exactly what I'm on about. I was not a big fan of this creature, and honestly, Nightstalker can tell you, I really hated this thing, but my favorite creature from Lost Island, I've officially come around to this thing, is the Cinemacrops. Now, it could also be the fact that I made a very dope-looking mutation with this thing, but I mean, look at that. Also, this thing, overall, is just crazy cool. I mean, you can fly. You're able to fly. You can slow down your descent like this. It's an organic glider. It scares off. And now this is the number one thing I love about this creature, is that it scares the crap out of any small creatures. So, you know, Microraptors, anything like that, Dilophosaurus, dodos, even for some reason, all small creatures that would normally be an absolute pest for you. These things can send away, and also because I put so much melee into it, these things actually murder most creatures, and it's actually great. Like all of my yes. It took me a long time to actually get me to like this thing, but the other 2 are just, I mean, the utility of this creature far exceeds the Dinopithecus and the Margosaurus. Besides, there are creatures in the game that are far better than both Monkey and the Margosaurus. I mean, yes, the Margosaurus has great weight, it's got good health, but, you know, there is also, and yes, it can actually, unlike the Diplodocus, it can actually attack. But that's literally all it's got going for it, is that it's a Diplodocus that can attack. And also, what's really, really cool about this creature is that it's got its own inventory, and there's weight reduction on literally everything. Like, for example, 398 on my person, 199 on the Sino. 910 pounds on my person, 455 on the Sino. The weight reduction on this creature is so good. It's really great. And I never leave my base without it. I always have this thing on my back, because especially when you're taming, and even when I go to other maps, it's so helpful to have one of these things around, because if Microraptors or anything shows up, these things can send them away, you know, with a cooldown mind, so it's not too overpowered. But yeah, that is the Cinemacrops. Now, I mentioned it earlier, but I did pick 3 or 4 other creatures to represent the flyers, herbivores, and carnivores of this game. Now, I could just stop here, but I want to actually make sure I'll spend the next 5 minutes kind of basically showcasing my favorite creatures. Now, starting with the carnivores, we have the Tyranus for its roars and also just innate ability to be very cool, and also the furry. It's, let's be honest, furry chicken, really cool. I mean, it doesn't look like a furry chicken right now, but it is what it is. The Giganotosaurus for its, well, for one, its size and also its roars. Its three roars being absolutely terrifying and something you do not want to hear in any context that is, well, of this game, I guess. Okay, representing the T-Rex, because there's so many variants of it, dang blasted, is the Tech Rex, just for looking really cool, and also just I love the Tech Rex. I mean, I really do. It's a good, it's a cool looking creature, and also I love me the regular Rex, but there's something, it just hits, the Tech Rex just hits real different. And also, one thing I would have loved for the tech creatures overall is if there was a cybernetic kind of filter over the roars, because it's a tech creature, but it sounds like the normal Rex. Like, what? Why? Now, as far as my favorite carnivore of this game, it is going to be the Spinosaurus. Now, I love the Spino. It has been my favorite, one of my favorite dinosaurs in the game for a long time, and it is literally my favorite carnivore at all. And I loved the TLC, being able to stand on the two legs, and just this model overall, sure. This model overall just looking spectacular, and oh my gosh, I just love everything about the Spinosaurus. Now, as far as my favorite variant goes, it's going to be the X variant, but I love the Spinosaurus. It is my number one favorite carnivore at all. The second being the Tyranus, third being Giga, and fourth being Rex. So, and I literally just threw them out in no particular order, really, but the Spinosaurus is my favorite carnivore in general, just because of like the sail, its ability to swim, just the crocodilian nature of it is just chef's kiss. I love this. I love the Spino, and I really hope it has this much utility and use in Arc 2. Now, heck, I just hope it's in the game at all. For one. Now, I'm just going to clean up this side here real quick, and then we'll go on to my favorite herbivores, and then we'll top this off with my favorite flyers. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I really... Also, that roar is really nice. I don't know if I mentioned it yet. I probably did, but I blanked already. Okay, so, herbivores. I only have 3? Wait, no. Yeah, 3. And that is going to be the Therazanosaurus, the Mammoth, which is also my nephew's favorite dinosaur in all, by the way, and the Equus. Now, the Equus, because it is literally the what most PvPers say to get when you first start up on Ragnarok. The first things they say get is a horse. Why? Because of its, well, its saddle is a mortar and pestle. It's able to knock creatures out with its back kick. It's also plenty fast, easy-ish to tame, and also it is the ultimate starting mount for any map. Now, in fact, when we get started on Fjordur here soon, I'm hoping to actually get my hands on an Equus straight away and immediately try to just get a full run of the place, because that back kick right there is so helpful. The Mammoth, well, it's pretty straightforward. You can pick creatures up, you can yeet them, kind of. You can pick up small creatures, and you can throw them. Look at you going way over there. And also, this thing. Yeah, this creature is the most along with the Stegosaurus. The Mammoth was the most recent TLC to be added into the game, and also the physical, just the look of this creature overall is just, it is 10 times better. 10 times better than what it was. This thing is also much stronger. It has the nice sweep attack. I think it also has a stomp. It has a push. The alt fire is literally just a grab. The roar is nice, and the saddle. Oh, this might be one of the best designed saddles at all, if at all. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is cool. This is really cool. Now, I mean, this is kind of like a mini game. Really kind of, and also it kind of helps practice timing and just practicing overall in the kind of. Now, obviously, my timing is pretty good, and honestly, the more you do this, the kind of like the stronger your creatures get overall, and it's really cool. I really like the Mammoth overall. It's a good, cool creature. And 10 out of 10, definitely recommend. If you're going into the snow, you definitely want to get your hands on a Mammoth as quick as possible. Up next, the Therazanosaurus. Man, I really like this creature. It definitely needs a TLC, definitely needs a facelift, some kind of something. This is one of the ultimate gatherers of the game. It can gather fiber, it can gather wood, it can gather thatch, can't gather stone, but it is one of the few herbivores in the game. Actually, I think it is the only herbivore in the game that can actually gather meat with its claw, with its beak attack, and also its double claw hit. It is also used, along with the Megatherium, this creature is used in boss fights. You can't really say that about many herbivores in this game, with the exception of rhinos. This thing, I've actually seen mammoths now be used due to its changes, as well as the Megatherium, and I want to say that's all the herbivores that are really used in this game. Also rhino. Okay, did I say rhinos? I said rhinos. But yeah, no, those are my 3 picks for herbivores in this game, and honestly, you'd want to get those guys as quick as possible, just because of, well, its overall use. It's a great creature to use. Definitely recommend. I definitely recommend all these creatures, actually, for sure. Now, to top off this video, I know this one's been going rather long. I know. And plus I said 5 minutes, but it's been longer because honestly, I just love these creatures. I love all of these creatures overall, and I really hope all of these come in. I get the feeling the Drake and the Shadow Mane definitely won't make it to Arc 2, but I'm hoping that, and the Bloodstalker for sure. But I'm hoping like a lot of these guys do come back. Now, for flyers, we have, and to top off this video, we have the Tapahara. For its lateral movement and just looking really, really cool, I do prefer the X variant, if you ask me, personally. The RG for being like the ultimate freaking creature overall. It's not very fast. It's not very fast, but it's, again, like most of the creatures on this list, its utility is top notch. We have the Quetzal for being one of the biggest creatures in the game, and also being very, very, very useful. And once you get a Quetzal, you're able to use a Quetzal to tame a Quetzal, and also you can stand on the back of this thing and just shoot down at whatever it is you're taming, therefore making this a very, very helpful creature to have overall. And to finish off this list, my 4th favorite flyer is Snow Owl. For its wide range of movements, being able to heal creatures, and also just looking both menacing and very, very adorable at the same time. Like, bro, that face. What? But these are all my favorite creatures in Ark Survival Evolved. I picked 4 for the island. and I didn't show them here, but the Basilosaurus, the Tuso, and the Mosasaurus being my favorite creatures as far as water is concerned. I think I do have some tamed. I think I do. I don't remember if I do or not, so I figured I'd just physically mention them. But yeah, these are my favorite creatures in Ark Survival Evolved. What are yours? You know, pick one or two from the paid DLCs and the free ones, if you so desire. And what are your favorite herbivores, carnivores, water creatures, and flyers in Ark Survival Evolved? Let me know. But that's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, then you know what to do already. And remember, kids, remember the 5th of November. Nobody panic. Alright? Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy.